Time is money, friend.
Bitch, you'll be cooking that sound.
Hottest producer around.
Okay, good morning. My name is Dumisani Theletsane, man. Welcome to it. It is a hashtag Snoopcheck episode 3 stroke number 2. And today I'm joined by Chris Jordan, man. He's been in the industry for the longest of time, man. Let me welcome Chris Jordan. First of all, Chris, am I saying your surname right?
Jordan, yes.
Jordan.
Don't say Jordan.
Not
please.
Jordan.
Yeah, no. I mean, no disrespect to Afrikaans people. I don't look Afrikaans, so I'm not Jordan, yes.
When is it the right time to do an opening link? Because when I listen to KFM, Proverb, for instance, he does his opening link at exactly after the news. And then you listen to Thabo Mokoele, he does his opening link at 20 minutes past the hour.
Sure.
And then Thuso Motaung also does the same as Proverb. Immediately after the news, he goes straight to it.
It's difficult to pinpoint like a structure. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So here at Boston, where we teach you the fundamentals and how let's say your base structure of being able to put a clock together, being able to approach obviously how to build content or your skill sets and you know that you need for doing great radio. But you see, there's a lot of factors you got to think of. You got to think of, for example, just plain old ignorance. For example, that could be one. You know, so let's say if I have a very unhealthy ego and I want to, you understand what I'm saying? I would like to not abide by, let's say, the baseline radio rules. Then I will do an opening link whenever I want to. You know what I'm saying? Or do, let's say, a call out or a reverse link or whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. But the thing is that you must look at, for example, a type of show that you're doing. Yeah. So if we look at Ayanda MVP, thank you. She is instructed to, because formatted radio at certain times of the day is instructed to have less talk, more music, right? So you'll only hear her maybe about 4 or 5 songs into the show. They say straight from the news, if there is at the top of the hour, play straight music, you know what I'm saying, depending on which station obviously has which format, and they obviously tried and tested a particular, like I say, format and structure per show, you understand, that works for the audience. If you look at hers compared to other people on the lineup, so your Aneles and so on and so forth, the clock will change, you understand?
Yes,
so
yes.
So it isn't a personal preference actually, it has to be a directive that comes from your program manager that you know better, you understand what I'm saying to you, right? And then obviously it is dependent on exactly, because each of our, so when we do research and we do our RAMs or whatever it may be, right, we'll find obviously a bit of a lifestyle that kind of reflects what we will assume is the best way to execute. You know what I'm saying? Even to the opening links, when we're going to play ads, when we're going to talk, how long we're going to talk for, whatever it may be. Yeah.
Because there's no one way of doing it.
No. I mean, like if you let's say you go with the news, whatever it may be. If you feel comfortable, I mean, this is one of the things that if you have a rapport with your audience, you might open up with a link, and a lot of people like to just say hi. Do you understand, right? So quite a lot of DJs, especially that they have a massive rapport with their audience, maybe ones that have been legends. I say legendary 20-25 years. Might actually get some impromptu content just from those opening greetings, hi, glad to be, how you doing today? A lot of people WhatsApp or whatever send you messages, and so it really depends on again, what is your directive, and then also your personality.
And the reason why I'm asking you this is because I was taught to play a song and then go straight to a link.
What?
10 minutes after the hour.
All right. Why do you think we taught you that? It's because normally you'll either go from an ad break into the top of the hour. You understand? A lot of talk, also a lot of passive listening. People don't exactly tune into the radio or stay tuned to listening to ads or whatever, spots, whatever. In certain shows, obviously, we have our news, we have our sports, whatever it may be. Talk. Now you're also going to now sit and talk based on however long you're talking. Just get to the music is what they say, you know. But again, like I say, if it's a friendly, like we come off the back end of the news or whatever it may be, or we're passing over a late night show, so 10 to 1, 7 to 10, we move over. It's great. Come in, you know what I'm saying to you. Thank you so much. Dumisani, you know what I'm saying to you, with Chris, and I'll be with you till 12 o'clock tonight, whatever it may be. Great music as usual. We always promise great music. You can't promise mediocre. You'll be like, I'm going to go mediocre music. But we'll say, listen, yeah, it's great. Also, it's a bit of decorum as well. It depends on, again, on which station. Every station, if you look at, if you try and, let's say, build clocks and formats,
Yes.
YFM to 947, to 5FM, to Metro, whatever. There's actually no comparison. People are very experimental right now.
Yeah.
So you'll find that the YFM breakfast is, for me, chaotic. It's chaotic. It breaks too many rules. You understand that we teach you, which, like I say, you need to understand what it's not the right way to do it. It is the right way to do it. But when you are at a station, the station will also adopt its own culture and its own approach that works best for its audience. You understand?
Can you just give me one example of the things they do wrong?
So, like, that's what I'm saying to
Why?
that they do wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's never made sense to me, because I was always taught that you would have, let's say, adverts, for example. So you have a spot break, but it mustn't follow music. So you would play music, you play spot break, you know what I'm saying to you, and then you'd come back and talk after a spot break. Makes no sense to me, because one, they always said to us, even as ridiculous as it sounds, like, people can subliminally attach a song to a product or a service that's being advertised. So I always use the example in class. You know, it's very extreme. Probably doesn't happen, but you don't want to go for the probablys. So we have, let's say, a PSA for awareness on rape for women. But we have, just before that, a very sexually, you know what I'm saying, which is fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's a sexually driven, hip hop song that is, you know, it's kind of like, it's welcomed. We love them, but if you play them side by side, it almost says we just played this thing where we idolizing women in a sexual way, and then we play a PSA for women abuse or whatever it is. You know who's going to complain? Not the listener, the client. You understand? They're going to be like, you just played Uchini or whatever it is, whatever. And the thing is, like, and we have this ad, we paid so much money for it, and you went ahead and you did that. And they do that often. They do that. They go straight from music, no link. You can just back announce the song. You don't have to say nothing. Just to break the subconscious link between, to look after your client, because anyway, they really are what makes what makes the electricity run in the water. You know what I'm saying? Flow, taps.
Talking about back announcing a song, are you back announcing a song for a listener or for a client? When you talk about a client, who are you talking about?
So no, client's someone who pays for so we're talking about someone that comes there, they do a promo, they open up like a activation with you, like a 3-week activation, yes, or a month. It doesn't matter. Someone's paying you a lot of money.
Okay.
So I mean, if we look at major stations in just the Gauteng area, for a 30-second spot, you can be paying up to 18,000 rand just for 30 seconds, and that's not an exaggeration. It's true, But the thing is that's what I'm saying. So those clients are what keeps the water, like I said, running, electricity on, because 70-75% of our money commercially, I'm saying to you, comes from advertising clients. So you have a client, and then you have, you know what I'm saying to you, your consumer. You understand what I'm saying to you? So the person I'm providing the service to, which is my listener. You understand? Mm-hmm. Two different things. Yeah.
There's this show that I was listening on, Alex FM. It is an afternoon show.
Sure.
Now, this presenter, he did his throw forward well, recap well, but when it comes to the comments, no.
Comments in what, like the response?
The response from the listeners.
Sure.
Now, can you believe this guy read more than 10 comments non-stop? So now, if you're gonna read more than 10 comments, then let's just change the name of your show and call it "Send Us Your Comments and we'll read them show."
Right.
What is wrong with reading more than 5 comments non-stop?
So the one thing is it becomes boring, obviously. The thing is, again, you can never, I understand that, you see, when we throw out stuff to social media, so we have Twitter responses and stuff, we need to understand that there is a line, so that we create the space on social media
Yes.
for that purpose alone. So we shouldn't be using social media responses actually on air if you want to get technical. Because I'm carrying on this conversation there. The space is different, it lives there. Like if you're a very popular presenter, you could have up to like 100, 200, 300, 400 responses to one, let's say, like I say, a call out or whatever it is that you're asking them to do. You can't sit now and, saying it needs to be a space that they need to enjoy separately for grab on air. We have enough mechanisms like, to exercise on air. WhatsApp voice notes obviously have become very popular because obviously it's people have access to it and it's cheaper. People can phone in. People can still use SMS lines. In some parts we try and keep it separate. You understand? So just to answer your question now. So I say okay at whatever Chris J _ Papa G says. Now then I think is like the whole point of having someone's reaction. So be it a voice note, be it a Twitter response, whatever it is so that I can step up my conversation. You understand my, so I will use your response as an advantage. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
So that I can elaborate further. You know what I'm saying? Dumisani has mentioned the fact that, you know what, he has been stuck at home since March 20th. No jokes. You know what I'm saying to you? It is November already. Stuck at home, which is something that a lot of people actually don't realize that for the majority, in fact, if you look at stats, 56% of the country has actually been at home throughout the entire year. Never mind those of us that have started work and moving on or whatever it is, since June, July, or whatever. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying to you? I'm going to use your response as a stepping stone to continue my conversation based on what topic or content, perspective, whatever it is, my directive I want to actually get across.
Yes, Chris. There was this time I was listening to Ayanda's Nights,
Right.
YFM.
Sure.
I think a show starts at 7 p.m.
Right.
And there was this time she had a guest, Loyiso McDonald. He's an actor.
Right.
Can you believe that this girl asked Loyiso McDonald what color of an underwear he was wearing? Now, I want us to talk about making a guest feel uncomfortable.
Was he uncomfortable?
Sorry?
Was he uncomfortable?
I think so.
Okay.
I assume. I
Were-
mean, if somebody
were you-
asked me that,
were you uncomfortable? No.
I wasn't uncomfortable
Yeah, as a listener.
as a listener.
More
So
important
imagine
than
if I was the one who was there on Ayanda's Nights show. Are there any signs that you could be losing it here? Are there any signs that you could be making your listener, your guest, feel uneasy? Are there any signs?
Look, I mean, the thing is, if you have, you must always you must use the rule. Golden rule is like, for example, if you had to imagine yourself interviewing your biggest guest, I'm saying internationally, how all of a sudden you behave. You understand? So, for example, like, I always brag because I like to brag. So
Same as
you know,
how Shoma Jose reacted to
Exactly.
John Cena.
Yeah, well, that's you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
I'm saying to you, let's say, pick your someone that you idolize. I'm saying to you internationally, which is not a bad thing. It's like, let's say you're a fan, their music or the acting, whatever it is. It could be a president, I don't know. But the thing is, all of a sudden you are back up and you behave. You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying to you? You watch all your corners, you you cross your T's, you dot all your I's, whatever it may be, and you don't. It's not that you are appropriate; you become professional. So the thing is that you see, I can't make commentary on just why. Now she asked that question: was there a reason to it? Did she back it up with? Was
No.
it in context to?
No.
She just wanted to ask what
Yeah.
underwear. You see, stupid. Sorry. I mean, I'm not. It's not anyone. And it's not that I'm saying now. Oh, now I'm like this radio guru.
Yeah.
Anyone could have said that was a dumb question. No one cares. No one cares unless he did a spread for Men's Health magazine.
Or unless
You know what I'm
if it
saying?
was some sort of a feature or a game.
I'm just saying, if there's a link, if there's some kind of contextual meaning, perspective,
Yeah.
put it in there. So if let's say they were doing, when the guys must run in their underwear,
Yeah.
for cancer
Oh,
awareness
yeah,
or
yes,
whatever it is, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
right? So if it was something like that,
Sponsored by Insurance.
yeah, let's talk about your underwear. What are you going to wear on that day? Do you have different pairs of underwear? Like every man has like different stages. You know, the ones that you only wear on your own, ones that have holes in, the ones that you know when you're going to have like a night out with somebody special, you know. Like let's go, like put it to context. But it's silly, and you know what? The thing is, I mean, if she doesn't realize it on the spot, especially because in radio you have to have this empathetic feel for if he's sitting right in front of you is uncomfortable, you don't realize it. I mean, I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? You're being quite ignorant, and again, also that was silly.
Yeah, because I put myself in his shoes. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, what is she doing?
Sure.
Now, Chris, the presenters still play a song for a listener or for themselves. And there's a reason why I'm asking you this. Thuso Motau, he plays a song, 4 minutes or 5 minutes song, when the time is like 2 minutes before the news. And now his mentee, Thabo Mokone, does the same thing. I mean, how do you play a 4-minute song when you're only left with 2 minutes before the news? Do radio presenters still play a song for a listener?
So they have to, because the thing is that you're playlisted according to your music department, you understand? And it is, you know what, as much as I'd like to admit that community stations do that, the more and more I've gone in for training and workshops with a lot of our, you know, like our local community stations. There is no music policy. It's less and less music policy there. So it's not understandable or acceptable. But at commercial level, I'm saying that is bad planning. So, for example, as you know, we grind into you. The thing is, you've got to work backwards. You've got your clock, but you also understand that the clock also is dependent on which music is selected by. Obviously, like your music playlisting algorithm or whatever it is, and how you decide which one goes where and whatever it is. And when you get to your show, you get the songs. You understand? So one could be 4 minutes, one could be 2 minutes, one could be whatever, depending on obviously the rotation, right?
Yes.
But the thing is that I've got to look, let's say at about 22 the hour. I've got these songs. It's going to be that long. I've got a link here. I've got a link up there. If I've got 2 minutes to talk, hey. And I should use the whole point why you're hired. You understand what I'm saying to you? What your skills is to be able to have time management properly and be able to, on the spot, be able to deal with that. I'd rather have spoken. I would have done a full teaser, you know what I'm saying to you? A bit of a throw forward to another one's, what am I saying, shows promotions, or go to the web, you know what I'm saying? Check us out here. You can kill 2 minutes instead of like nothing. Well, no, there's many things, but one of the things that frustrates the listener most is when you cut off a song that they like.
Obviously, you're gonna be forced to cut the song.
But he could have just
Because
spoken.
there's no time.
Isn't that his job?
Exactly, just speak, you know, just to and to cover that remaining time, that leeway.
Yes. It's not like we're asking 7 minutes. It's 2 minutes, man. Like
Yes.
if you can't fill up time for 2 minutes, again, there's so many different options. You could, again, tease, promote, cross-promote, you know what I'm saying to you? Throw forward to what's happening on the site on whatever it is, a live event that we start, whatever it may be.
But now, is there a penalty if you don't play a song that was scheduled in your show?
No. So what happens is I learned that the hard way, but I don't understand again because and it's not that's a cop out because I should have asked before I did that. So when I moved over to commercial radio, like for example, let's say I've got 6 songs that are scheduled in the first half hour, right? So I would you have to obviously gauge you gain a discipline on how long you must talk, where you must talk, where you must place things, whatever it may be, right? The songs have to be played, right? Should they not be played? Let's say I ran out of time, couldn't play song number 6, because of the way that rotation works. I would have to start after, let's say the half, let's say spot breaks, whatever
Yes.
news. I must play song number 7 that was scheduled. I mustn't play song number 6 because again, then the rotation is all mixed up, you know. And they came down hard on me for that immediately because that's something that is not even tolerated. You understand?
Yes.
So to answer your question, you have to follow the playlist. Sometimes, obviously, it's natural. Things might take longer, or like I say, so then what you drop in like I said, the rotation, drop, carry on, move on. It's not a train smash. No.
I think you and I would agree that the WhatsApp has taken the culture of a listener calling in and engaging with the presenter. Now, would you play more than 5 voice notes on your show?
So on the show,
Yeah, on your show, from a listener, a
the whole
response.
show.
No, not
For the call out, you
for a
mean?
call out.
No, so the thing is, it depends. Okay. You see, if you take a caller live, you wouldn't have gone, let's say on music radio, you wouldn't have gone further than 2, maybe 3, conversations. Let's say you take them live, you're speaking to Dumisani now, you know what I'm saying, to on the line as Chris. Chris is, right in the middle of whatever. Okay, right. So then we have live, obviously live callers. See that with WhatsApp voice notes, the thing is, one, it is actually we've put ourselves in a little bit more of a difficult situation because you have to listen to them all. Let's say you get a lot. And you got to listen and try and get the best ones actually, not the first 3, the first 5 or whatever it may be, right? And then, like I say, you need, if it becomes redundant, in other words, one after the other, if it's a feature and it's fun, so the voice notes are 5 seconds, 7 seconds, I think it's this song, I think it's this movie, I think you meant to say, you know what I'm saying, it's like a game, that we're playing or whatever. We can play them back to back and play some, maybe 4 or 5 quick ones, But if it's a response to, like I say, contextually, a conversation, current affairs, whatever it may be, we're talking, we're having a conversation. No, it gets boring because again, you have the response. You need to come in and do your job. Like what I'm saying to you, it's kind of a waste. So you send me this this really good WhatsApp, with this voice note. It's got so much depth. It adds to the conversation, everything. Now the worst thing you can do is, thanks to Dumisani, let's go move on to Chris. That's so stupid. It's so stupid. You've given me the opportunity to actually take a different perspective, depth, whatever it is, to, you know what I'm saying to you? So I would use the opportunity to then move, like I say, I've mentioned this slightly before, but I'm saying to you. So let's say you only have time for 2. Do only 2. Do you understand? The problem is also, it might not be directly relatable, but they always said to us, let's say we've got 3 callers lined up, okay?
Yeah.
Right. So I go to caller number 1, it's great, he or she's great, whatever it is. But the second one, we've got to pre-prepared them. I'm saying obviously you will speak to them before and say on the line, we'll chat to you, whatever it is now. Let's say they are complete magic that you did not expect. That moment was going to be that great. You don't take the third caller because it goes like this and then it goes like this. So you rather drop it, go back to music, carry on with the show. Take the third caller if you need to in a later link, but don't drop the climax. If let's say that was you can only tell that while you're on air. You understand? So because you don't know what this listener is going to, how great they're going to be.
Kgomotso Kgaladi does that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right.
He knows when to stop.
Yeah, that's the thing, main thing. Even if it was one person and they were fantastic,
Yes.
then just go back to the music, come back, and then take some other callers if you really need to.
Yeah, because sometimes I will ask myself, why did he take just one caller?
Yes.
Now, Chris, would you allow somebody of Robert Marawa's caliber to play more than 10 voice notes on your station?
It's not about caliber. It's about so I've I am a fanboy of Robert, because I'm sorry, you cannot do what Robert does
Yes.
in this industry for that long. I'm sorry, taken off Metro. Then he's broadcasting, I think it was on SAFM
SAFM,
and then on Metro. You compare. I'm sorry, I'm fanboying as usual. And again, Robert Marawa is like he's an institution for us.
Okay.
So the thing is, regardless of the institution, even Robert wouldn't play 10. Am I wrong?
He does.
Does he?
I don't know, maybe because, or maybe his show allows him
It's
to
a
do
talk
that.
show.
It's a talk show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, 10. Look. I don't listen to the sports show that often because I'm not. I mean, I'll listen for Robert. That's it. You know what I'm saying to you. It's not my thing. You know. But to play 10 voice notes, I'm saying to you,
Consistent.
one after the other with no. I doubt. There must be like I say, method to his madness. If again contextually, we can't just analyze based on kind of a bird's eye view of what's happening. Again, I said to you, there are situations where you should only play one voice note back to back to back to back, because the feature or whatever it is calls for it and doesn't need you to keep on coming in and in. So again, it has nothing to do with caliber. Because actually, the more experienced and the more, like I say, classed the presenter is, the more likely it is that they will not make those mistakes. I find that our radio legends, which we have a handful, which we should, every country has a handful, ones that have been in the industry 20, 25 years, you know what I'm saying to you, right? And on air I'm saying to you, they know when to stop, when to start, when to left, when to right, whatever it is. You're going to find a lot of problems with them,
Yeah, because I wanted to know, because I've only started listening to him now at on lockdown.
Right.
And he's been working from home. I don't know if he was in studio then.
No.
Things would
Most
have been the
presenters
same.
are.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Quiz, is it wrong to do a link just exactly after a jingle?
No, I mean you can color your show however you want.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of jocks have again, it's their own style. There's nothing wrong. So let's say I play an ID for the show, or a sting for the station or whatever it may be. I can play it right after, clean it up after. Let's say I play a song, play the ID, boom, straight into the link, whatever it is. There's not a real yes or no about that. You understand? I mean, you can do a link, you can play an ID, it goes to ads. So it just cuts it off nice and clean and slick. It's fine.
I mean, Chris, we're not the same. Some people prefer only one presenter. Some people prefer a presenter and a co-host.
Right.
Now, presenters will go to a musical break, and then when they come back laughing and not even share a joke with the listener. Is it rude to not share a joke with the listener?
Of course.
How so?
Because it's
the theatre of the mind. You should leave them hanging.
Okay, so I'm sitting here, we're a cameraman here, with you here, you know what I'm saying to you, I've been sitting here while you prepared and you got ready and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying to you, you two have a private joke, you I'm standing right here, you know what I'm saying to you, it's rude, no, and even, you see, what kills me even more is that there's millions, thousands, or whatever it is, people that are listening, don't have a clue what you're talking, it's not funny, you know what I'm saying to you, come back, laughing, You know what I'm saying to you? And then carry on. Sorry, you're gonna swear, but what's the fucking point?
Last question, quiz, before we close it off. I know you gotta go. I'm sorry to attack Kgomotso again.
Oh, okay.
Because this is our my second episode. Now, Kgomotso would go in studio, do a picture stream, present without having his headphones on. There was this time when he was presenting, he played, or he was not aware that his bad music was playing over his advert because he had no headphones on. And then he had to be told, and then he announced that on air, that his bad music was playing over his adverts. Why is it important to always have your headphones on when you are in studio?
For that reason. For that reason. I mean, also.
But why? The man of his.
Every reason. Sorry.
But he's been in the industry for the longest of time. He should know that he should always have his headphones on.
If you were his manager, I'm saying to you, that's PBS commercial, or millions of people listening to you. What would you have said to him?
I would have told him that it was ridiculous.
Is that all?
Yes.
Would you have not suspended, fired?
I would have, because now, because you are tainting somebody's brand, you are tainting somebody's product. Adverts are somebody's product.
Yeah,
what?
It is, but also again, the quality of the station goes down, and your voice stupid. That is.
Or you just turn a blind eye to it.
No.
That's
Sorry,
what you're saying.
Hide there.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not
What
saying
did he say?
that. No, I'm
Would
saying
you have
that's
punished him?
Yes, complete opposite. Because even top of it, he made it public. You know what I'm saying to you? The thing is that they even said, this is when I was student radio. I'm not saying that student radio there's any less to it. I'm saying even at a level where you're just entering the industry, you know what I'm saying? And they're teaching you the basics. They say, do not apologize for your technical mistakes on air because you're telling the listener, I am incompetent. So he went back on air and he apologized for being incompetent.
Yes.
Like let's say I swear to you, this is in week 1 of me ever being in radio. They said, if you up, do you understand what I'm saying to you? Up and move on. Because if you left your mic on, which is, there was a girl that was hired in the same group as me. She had a conversation with her friend. It was a Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock, driving down in Hatfield, whatever it is. Music is playing. She didn't even say anything offensive. You could hear our boss. Our boss walked into the studio, fired her live while the song was playing. So it was like making a point. Man, like, pay attention, man. It's a button. And why you know what I'm saying to you? And that's a kid. I'm saying it's a kid who had almost 0 to no radio experience. We just don't tolerate it. So the thing is, like, you see, it just because one person does it, good or bad, doesn't mean that's the way it's done. So a lot of the students, see, and I'll close off with this because I think it's important, you know? So because we see it being done in the industry, we question and say, oh, but they're doing it there. It doesn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make it right. Just because you have hundreds of thousands or whatever people following you on Twitter or Instagram or whatever it is, and you're being paid like tens of thousands or whatever it is, rands, if you make the mistake, it doesn't mean it's right. I'm saying to you, in your this is a craft.
Yes.
It's a craft. So the thing is, like, just because you want to or you do, if you have to look at an accountant, I'm just saying to you, I always use an accountant because the thing is like they're all about beans, you know what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
And precise. You're not going to, I'm going to drive right back. So a cashier, you understand what I'm saying to you, right? Cashier sits there 8, 10, 12 hours sometimes a day, you know what I'm saying to you, right? Doing the same, it's repetitive.
Yeah.
Right? So they take, scan, do, pay. If that cashier gives you 50 cents less change, are you going to say it's okay?
No.
Keep it, it's fine. You understand? That's our perspective. We're not acting like we're better than anyone. Do you understand? When we teach this and we train this, we're saying there's a tolerance level where you must understand that if a doctor decides, he's going to maybe stitch here just a little bit to the left or to the right, fuck's sakes, people can die. No one else tolerates tardiness.
But when you fire somebody, have you now fixed the problem?
Sometimes. So, for example,
But you're gonna
so as much as I loved the show, Glenn Lewis, Unati, you know what I'm saying
Yeah.
to you? For fuck's sakes. I mean, every 2 seconds you're being suspended from the show. Yeah, you know what I'm saying to you? We couldn't have, Glenn Lewis again he's a benchmark for us. Unati, benchmark, great talent. But they were pissing. They were doing it on purpose, man. They were making statements, irrelevant statements, unnecessary statements. on purpose.
She's too forward.
You understand?
Yeah.
You can be forward. We have got many jocks that are shock jocks, or the point is that we put you on air so that you can have an opinion. But the thing is, there's disrespect of the medium to the platform, disrespect for your station's brand, disrespect for your listener. You understand? And that doesn't mean you have to be nice and polite. It means you just have to be professional. And no one is, you see, again, because I love Unati so much, I really do. Her music, I'm a massive fan. Remember she was back when she was at YFM, she was releasing great music, and I loved it, you know? I was a fan from then. See, it pains to actually hear, because I grew up with her as she's grown up with us, you know? For her to maybe she was just tired. Tired. Tired of all this shit. You know what I'm saying to you? I don't know the politics that they are always on at radio stations. She was tired. She just kept basically disrespecting the platform. And you know what? Again, and it happens to all of us. It's happened to me. It's happened to every jock. You see, there's always a space where you're not needed. No one's needed in this industry. Does it make sense? So if you overstep a boundary, we can easily just put someone else there. You
But the
understand?
listenership is gonna drop.
Doesn't matter. No. You see, so that's dependent. So you put someone like Somizi on, it drops completely. Remember.
Yeah, I
mean,
know
it
that
was,
story.
Jeez, the name is who's the socialite he was on with?
On Metro.
Yeah, they put her on for so
Isn't
we had Kuli, Roberts, that was on what's his name here, Kaya,
KFM.
right? Who was Kanye Bao, right?
Okay.
Kanye Bao. So they put Kanye and they put some music together. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Like, it was the worst show. Potentially could have been amazing because she's got a personality that blows people away. You understand? But these are not radio practitioners. You understand? So it was a recipe for disaster, and it was immediately seen and you know what I'm saying, like accepted as a disaster.
Yeah, maybe they were trying to imitate KFM because they have a comedian there, Skumba, who does a brilliant job.
Yes.
Now, you can't do the same thing as at a radio station and thinking that it will work for you.
Here's my thing with Kuli. I said I was going to say things last, but I'm gonna. You know what I loved about Kuli's joining Bob. Okay, the late Bob.
Kuli Roberts.
Yes. Okay. So when she came on to Bob's show in the morning, like she was not good. Obviously, she's a socialite. This was not her profession. But you must understand that she learned so quickly. You could hear it. So show to show, week to week, month to month. She was there observing, but she was literally building that profession. That within about 8 months, like, she was a pleasure to listen to. She knew how to do our skill, our craft, perfectly. She was a great addition to radio. And at the exact moment, like I say, Kanye Bao was doing the exact opposite. But anyway, like I say, so there's a place and a time. People want to learn, you know what I'm saying to you? People will do and are proactive, care about the listener, care about the craft, and at the end of the day, what's the point? Make good radio.
Chris, thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate it. Episode 3/2. Dumisani Theletsane, man. Gaddafi. Thank you. Just quiz. That's why I called him. This guy is also an institution. He's also an incubator of knowledge. Him and calculus. Next week we're going to Catherine. Yeah, Catherine is waiting for me. Please.
Kath, we love it.